Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rise Within. So, today we are going to get into our childhood and our childhood memories. And let's explore that now.
Well, childhood memories are both good and bad. The good one take us into a track of beautiful impressions of what we faced, loving memories with our parents, etc. But the bad ones actually create a little person, a unhealed person who stays with us and dictates a lot of things in our growing years. So let's discuss on how, why, and what is it all about the inner child and the inner child healing. Welcome to Rise
Yeah.
Within. Hi, Tanveer.
Yeah. Hi, Abby. Yes, I mean, inner child is just not some spiritual word or it is not a fad or something like that. It is
Yeah.
something which is very real. Yeah. It is the name of the psychological concept of having your emotional memories of your childhood. All right, and it could be good and bad, and it is those childhood memories or emotional memories of the childhood that dictate our adult life. For example, have you ever caught yourself throwing tantrums over small things? Or
Yeah.
there are some people who are just too scared to even speak or ask,
Yeah.
or some people just don't know how to play and have fun.
Even constant need of validation, right, Tanveer? Where
Yes.
everybody is seeking for approval for every little thing. Or
Yeah.
am I doing something wrong? Walking on eggshells all the time, or excessive
Yes.
dependency, which
Yeah.
ultimately leads to something like codependency, right?
Right.
Pouring
Right.
the glass over when the glass is already full, right? Just
Yeah.
to fill the
Yeah.
void within.
Yes.
These are
Very true.
these are some
Yeah.
of the symptoms, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, this is the way if you would like, because we talk emotional reaction or, having those emotions and, those reactions is not something that not all of those reactions are, like, in a child thing. But there are certain reactions which are an indicator that it is something to do with your childhood. Actually, major part of our lives is actually dictated by our experiences as a child. All right. So have we felt loved or have we been rejected? Have we, is there a feeling of safety? Is there an over criticism? These kind of experiences as a child would actually dictate how you react emotionally as an adult. Like, for example, like, if there, as a child, if you've been having fun and playing, sometimes parents just shut you down. Hey, don't make so much of noise, or just shut down and all that. And sometimes you keep quiet or something like that. And that child will grow up to not speak so much, or will get scared. Like, having fun or playfulness will not be a part of that person's realities. Like, just doesn't know how to play and have fun because as a child, it's told to.
Yeah,
So
it
that
is
is one
more
of the
perceived as
indicators.
indisciplined if you tend to be, loud or funny or playing
Yeah,
pranks. You're supposed to be
yeah.
unruly, right? That's
Yeah,
how you're
and what does
perceived.
a child? What does a child experience? A child experiences having fun, enjoying, feeling safe, being vulnerable. I mean, these are feeling loved, appreciated. That's what a child would actually need as a, in the early days, right? And if any of this is not provided or is missing in the childhood, that's what shows up as a reaction. Sometimes, like, uh, people are just a fear of speaking or just
Yeah.
asking, because every time as a child you ask something to your parents and the parents are saying it's wrong to ask, you should not be asking, shut down, or always being said no. That
Yeah.
person just grows up and gets, again, if you go and ask the direction to someone, that person will feel scared and doesn't feel
Absolutely.
comfortable asking, right? That's because that's how it is programmed. So the way you would probably identify what is the inner child wounds is, you, as you rightly said, one is tantrums. Like, so if at a on the smallest thing you start crying, all right, and you're not able to like control your tears and that kind of a thing. So there is this inner child wound where needs to be addressed. Or it could be a small it could be a small thing which could trigger into loud anger outbursts or
Yeah.
temper this and throwing tantrums. And like, some people how they, even as adults, they're
You
throwing stuff
overreact
and
to
they're
a
doing
simple
stuff,
situation which is not even
overreacting.
called for, right?
Yes, yes, overreacting. Very
Yeah.
true. Very true. So that is one of the indicators of, yes, there is some inner child that is required. Another indicator would be people pleasing. All right. So if a child wants, if you're going overboard in pleasing people, doing what others are saying, or all of that, maybe this, as a child, you didn't feel safe or didn't feel loved. All right. So you believe probably that, if I keep everyone happy, then I'm going to be safe. Or if I have to keep everyone happy just to feel loved or appreciated. Maybe, as a childhood, you had overcritical parents and who would always be criticizing, and now that goes as over pleasing as an adult.
Yeah.
All right. So even if you have to sacrifice yourself, you go out and beyond to just please everyone, keep everyone happy. And in the real world, as an adult, we know we cannot keep everyone happy, right? So we
Yeah.
can't control people's reactions. But why do we react and why do we do such things? It's our inner child which is behaving and making us do these kind of things, right? And we may not have boundaries at that point of time,
Yeah.
just so that you feel appreciated and you're feeling safe and that kind of a thing. And as I said, like, the emotional dependencies, like you have to have, it's a more again to feel safe, right? That maybe parents were emotionally not available. There are so many things going on in parents' lives, whatever. There may be whatever reasons that it could be. And then you need to have someone like, is everything okay? And it's over judgment and critical about yourself. Am I doing anything wrong? What's going on? Do I need to correct? And you probably sometimes, there are some people who go overboard with saying sorry, 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 sorry for everything, even if it's
Yeah.
not their mistake. Yeah. That's the emotional dependency. Like you want people to be okay with you just to feel safe.
Right.
So these could be
Also
the triggers
conflict, right?
or indicators. Yeah.
I've seen two extreme sides of conflict,
Yeah.
especially where children have experienced uh, abusive relationship between parents at home, have witnessed violence at
Yeah.
home. I've
Yeah.
seen two extreme, reactions.
Hmm.
One is
Hmm.
either they follow the same pattern where they behave the same way
Hmm.
towards their uh, better half, children,
Partners.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they've seen at home, they repeat the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Because for them,
Hmm.
that is the truth, or that is
Yeah.
what they've seen. That's how the
Yeah.
family is supposed to be brought up, right? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
the other extreme is where they don't want to take avoidance, right?
Yeah.
Whenever there is a conflict, rather than facing the conflict, they would rather run away,
You're right.
right? Where they've seen
Right.
so much of conflict at home, or they have seen
Yeah.
so much of, an unsafe environment, they want
Yeah.
everything absolutely picture perfect so that they don't feel uneasy anymore, right?
True.
So,
True. So that is the fear, right? They
right,
operate from fear. The fear that they experience in childhood that brings up this, and that fear as an adult we are much more sensible, we are wiser, we understand things, and are more pragmatic as such. But the reason why we run away, for example, as you said, right, is because of our inner child fears,
right,
and our childhood fears and our
right.
experiences. And that's what the inner child is.
So, in fact,
It
what
also,
we do
yeah.
end up doing is that as adults, if we don't address that unhealed little child who is struggling
Hmm.
from inside, we tend
Hmm.
to block what is supposed to be a happy life forward, isn't it? So,
True. true.
Just taking
Yes,
back the
and
example of,
mm,
conflict at home, right? Uh,
yeah, hmm,
we often see marriages breaking apart uh, for a simple reason where, simple issues were not spoken about, where boundaries were not created. Each one was trying to play the good one and trying to please the other one so that they don't lose. But I think the
yeah,
most important part is having the difficult conversation, and
hmm,
till the child owns up that
hmm,
it's okay to
yeah,
not be politically correct all the time. It's okay
yes.
to, to fight or to
It's okay
say
to make
the
mistakes.
wrong
It's
things,
yeah,
right? It's okay,
hmm,
to probably voice out things which are not right.
true,
Uh,
true,
I'll not be shut down.
true.
I'll not be shot down, rather.
Yes, yes,
But
yes,
that I think is sets a pattern
true.
in the coming future. Yes.
Yeah, and in so many ways are these emotions, because it of course, because it's emotions majorly, obviously, and fear, like emotions, we obviously talk about fear also, right?
Right.
That blocks our has creates issues in our relationships. Like, if you have been throwing tantrums over and over, and the other person doesn't even know what's going on, and even you do not know what's going on, that could lead into conflicts into relationships, like, not having a harmonious relationship. The fears of doing something, or achieving something, or going out and even taking that step, because you probably as a child somewhere you've been always, not, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this kind of a thing, and that fear has been there.
Yeah.
It somewhere also blocks our growth, even in our career or in financial abundance, or in any step that you would like to take. Like that fear, like, that don't do this keeps coming back, because as a your inner child is listening to, and that's how you start reacting. So it of course stops your growth in a lot of other areas of your life. So even if you have to say, right from taking care of yourself also, right? Because it was like, don't be selfish, don't be selfish. So in your mind, you are not taking care of yourself because that is considered as selfish, right? So there's so many areas of your life that can be affected because of our childhood memories, quote unquote, the inner child reacting. All
Yeah.
right. Another positive thing about inner child is, like, inner child is okay. There is all the pain and the fears and all of this, right? As a child. But as a child is very creative, it's very fun, playful, and
Yeah.
non-judgmental to a very, they don't have any judgment about good and bad. It's all that we as as parents is programming them in. So if we bring that positive aspects of a child within ourselves also, it's like whether it's creating new projects, or creating something for yourself in life, overall creating relationships, that's, and if you're doing it with playfulness, joy, and all of that, it's so much of ease, and like there's no judgment, it's so light. And that's also an important experience as an adult. It's not like you can have fun or play only as a child and you cannot play as an adult. You can, and in fact, with more awareness and with more wisdom. But we stop all of that because of this. So it's also, we can also get our inner child, like, whether you like coloring, whether you like music, whether you
Yeah.
like dancing, just writing, whatever as a child you used to like. If you tap into that and practice all these kind of things, even as an adult, that itself is a lot of healing to your inner child.
I think it all starts with acknowledgement, right,
Right.
Tanveer?
Yeah.
Where first we have to acknowledge that yes, there was a time that I faced this, acknowledging
Yeah.
that yes, and that has kind of hurt me.
Hmm.
And then after the acknowledgement and working towards doing the things.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Yeah.
if you were asked to keep quiet
Hmm.
in a household or in class, or
Hmm.
you were shut down by strict teachers, right? In the
Hmm.
name of discipline, right?
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
it is a great idea for anybody to heal is to go and have conversation, have a healthy friend circle. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
not getting into validation, right? It's
Yeah.
you don't need to
Hmm.
get validated because you are complete any which ways. But having a
Hmm.
great set of friends and having the
Hmm.
courage to go out and speak your mind out, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
to people without any
Yeah.
inhibition that I will
Yeah.
be judged, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's great for
Yes.
helping a person heal. And
Yes.
that is extremely important to
Yes.
where we
And
recognize.
as we are talking about healing right now, like, if we have to look at, yes, it's amazing. And the best therapy is talk therapy to a very large extent. You have someone to hear, listen to you. There is no doubt about it. But see, if you have to start small, like, even in your own space, how do we do that? How do we heal? First, of course, is awareness and acknowledgement that, yeah, this is the wound I have.
Yeah,
There may be some memory that may come up as a child that, you were shouted at or you were shut down or any of those kind of memories. All right. So one part is journaling and writing to yourself, your inner child. Like, when you're writing, hi Tanveer, whatever your pet name as a child is. Hi
yeah,
Tanu, you're such a sweet girl. I know you went through all this, and acknowledging that, okay, I know how you feel. This is how it is, but I still love you. So it is actually about reparenting your own self the
right.
way you would like to have been parented as a child, right? So with a lot of love, a lot of understanding. So obviously, one of the techniques is journaling and speaking to yourself through writing it to yourself, right? And the more you do that, the more your inner child feels heard, it feels safe. And you write these things that don't worry, I am with you, so it feels supported. Don't worry, you are safe, I'm with you. So these kind of words, saying that, writing it down really helps to heal over a period of time. It's not a one time exercise. You may need to do it because different experiences will bring up different emotions. So it's important to keep doing that and acknowledging the inner child. Sometimes most of the child is not being acknowledged.
Yeah,
A child is always at the side. So just to be heard and seen and loved and
yeah,
supported. It's okay to play. It's okay if you made mistakes. So when you write this down to yourself and when you're reading it, when you're writing it, it's your inner child. You are that part of you who felt unheard, unloved, and all that hears it and it gets acknowledged, right? So that integrates. Another way of doing this inner child healing, and this is the way I do it most of the time, and I love it, is I just close my eyes. I imagine my younger self. And whatever the situation, whether it is a fear, whether it is, feeling rejected or whatever, any memory that comes up, even if any memory doesn't come up, I just imagine my younger self and I speak to my younger self in closing the eyes, imagining my images, and I just speak to her and tell her, okay, it's okay. This is how it is. Don't worry. And even if that younger self, I may see that, okay, she's throwing tantrums like, no, as a child does, I'm still there, holding her hand, hugging her, making her feel loved, whatever that is, like without judgment. So when I keep doing this, and this is the way I love to do it. But I look at my inner child in my vision, and I'm feeling like it's like actually my adult self is
yeah,
speaking and being with my younger child and integrating that to myself, right? So that also is a very powerful technique to heal your inner child. The third one, most important, is like, not everyone may be able to do that, right? But just once you're aware of it, taking small steps to take care of yourself. That no, even having those affirmations within your mind. No, it's safe. No, it's okay. I'll be heard. No, it's like, all of this when you say to yourself in your daily life, or you take small steps. For example, you know that you're scared to speak, for example, and you're aware of it. You acknowledge that this is my inner child who's really
yeah,
scared. Then I go up and I actually go and ask, or I actually go and speak and then, like, everything is okay. So that brings a validation to the inner child that it is safe to speak. All right. So the third option is taking those small steps is by taking those action to correct whatever is stopped, whatever has blocked you from as an inner child emotion, right? So yeah, these are the ways where you can work with your inner child and make it feel more loved and integrate more of the emotional, make it feel safe and loved, so that as an adult, your true adult self can come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanvi, there's something that uh, I I think it takes a lot of courage. Is also having a conversation with the people who hurt you.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, okay?
Yes.
But I have done it.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of courage to go up to a set of parents
Yes.
and tell them that, this is what happened. At that point of time, that was the best thing that you could do. Uh, but it really hurt me,
Yeah.
right? I just wanted you to know and get over with it so
Yeah.
that I am free of any guilt or
Yes.
any bad feeling or any
Yeah.
anger against you,
True.
right? Where
True.
let's get over with it. It
Yes.
happened. It,
Yeah.
but I think that's one of the toughest things to do.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's also very liberating.
Very liberating. Very true. Because as a child, we were
Yeah.
not we were not trained, okay, you come and speak to me how you feel. All right. So when even as an adult, if you are speaking about what you felt, whatever it is, like have that conversation, because most of the parents, even especially in our age, they didn't feel comfortable having conversations with children, like,
Yes.
what they felt or
Absolutely.
what their perspective is or what they are
Yeah.
going through. I mean, they assume that they're just children, but children are also wise. They have a set of, intelligence and wisdom. Emotional intelligence is very high in children, right? So even if they don't understand practically, but they understand the emotional. So as an adult, as you very rightly said, you do that. So that conversation, is it's your inner child having a conversation with your
Yeah.
parent and
At the end of
saying
the
what it felt
day,
like.
it is all about, we have such a short life, right? We have a limited time together.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the most important thing is expressing yourself in whatever way it
yes,
is. It doesn't matter
yeah,
whether it is good, bad, we can't please everybody, like you said, right?
yes,
So you'd
yeah.
rather have
Hmm.
that conflicting conversation and get
Hmm.
over. And the most important and the liberating part is forgiveness, right?
Yes.
I forgive
Hmm.
you. You
Yeah.
did whatever you
True.
did was in
Yeah.
your best interest. It is even to
Yeah.
ourselves, to our inner child,
Right.
that a
Yes. Yes.
situation that, like, you did something and then you were probably pushed in a corner because
Hmm.
you didn't know the way out of it, and yet
Yeah.
you still live with that guilt. The most
Yeah.
liberating thing is to let go of that guilt and saying that it's fine. You did
Yeah.
what you did.
It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if you've done something wrong. You can
Yeah,
learn from it and you can, to have that conversation with your inner child that it's okay. Because whenever something wrong, as children, we do make mistakes, we lie, we steal. Children do that. Like, they
absolutely.
overreact, they do all the stuff. They are too mischievous, they may hurt someone, but it's obviously a lot of to do with
Yeah.
innocence. Or maybe not, it doesn't matter. But just to, it's okay. You're still accepted, you're still loved, you're forgiven. And that kind of a conversation, even with your inner child, makes it just, as I said, liberating, right? It's very healing. And then you can move on in your life with so much of more ease and harmony and peace. You're at peace more than anything. Things will keep happening in life, right? But at the same time, whatever happens, you're more at peace with whatever is happening. So these reactions don't come up. You are more responding to situations rather than reacting. And that happens through your inner child healing to a very large extent.
Tanvi, can you tell us more about the inner child meditation that one does, where we are mindful and with the
Mm,
intent of healing, we
mm.
do we meditate, and take us to that. Can you just elaborate on how one can practice that?
Yeah. So say if, suddenly you realize, okay, there has been an event and you overreacted or has thrown a tantrum and all that. And when you sit, probably after some time, you realize, oh, what have I done? And now you know that, okay, this is my inner child who's throwing tantrums, right? So what I would do is you would just close your eyes, take a nice few deep breaths, relax your body completely. All right. And at that point of time, because you are emotional also, you will remember what happened. And mostly if you see, especially when you're angry and you're throwing tantrums and those kind of things, you will see, okay, this happened to me in my childhood. I did this, and that something will come up, that
Yeah.
memory will come up in a kind of a thing, or at least in your mind. You go back to that memory. All right. As a child, what happened to you? And whatever the situation is, it's like when you're closing your eyes, you're taking a relax and you go back to that memory, look at that child, see whatever is happening. Maybe she's crying, maybe she's sad, how she's feeling. Sit with her, acknowledge her feelings. I know you're feeling hurt. I know your mother has shouted at you, and this is how you feel. You do all of that. Spend time with her, send her all the love. Don't worry, it's okay, everything is fine, it's okay to make mistakes, you learn from mistakes, all this kind of stuff you can say, whatever the situation is. And as you keep doing that, uh, you hug her, and you imagine hugging her,
Yeah.
loving her. If she's still throwing tantrums, sometimes the inner child, I know my inner child is, I get out, don't touch me, don't come
Yeah.
near me, this kind of thing shows up. It's okay, I'm here, fine, I won't touch you. So just the way you would like to be parented, or have that kind from your parents, be that for yourself, in that imagination, in that meditation, in while you close your eyes, and till the time you feel your inner child is okay, probably she's just sitting over there after all the tantrums, and okay. And slowly, slowly give it some time. Sometimes it may not happen in one sitting, it may happen in a couple of sittings. It's okay. All right, depending upon the experience. But just sit with her. And then at some point, you hold her, hug her. And when you hug yourself, just integrating that healed child, that experience, integrate it within you, taking a nice deep breath, and then you're coming out.
Thank you so much, Tanvir. Uh, yeah, I feel that reassurance to that little one is extremely important
Yeah.
because they somewhere still sit within us and rule a major part of our
Yes.
everyday life and our patterns,
Yeah.
most importantly.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as the child is unhealed, he or she will continue to lead us and trigger us without
Yes.
us even knowing it.
True.
So, Tanvi, thank you so much for the great insights. It was a wonderful, wonderful session. I think it was
Thank you,
much
Abby. This
needed.
was sharing your experiences also is really wonderful. It just gives so much of perspective to people and better understanding of, what's going on. So thank you for your contribution.
Thanks. We'll see you back in the next episode. Any comments, any experiences that you'd like to share, please feel free to comment and reach out. Tanveer is a certified coach. Uh, she helps people with inner child healing. So reach out to her, and we'll see you back in the next episode. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all the social media. See you next week. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.